My boyfriend tried to unalive me, and I was okay with it. I got a boyfriend when I just got out of high school. He was the love of my life. Me and my dog Sandy would take walks with him every day on the beach. It was like we were living in a movie. But one night, as we were watching our favorite cooking show, he would not stop looking at his phone. I asked him what's wrong, and he brushed me off and said, "It's no big deal." About 10 minutes later, he said he was going to bed. He had to be to work early that morning, so it was not out of the ordinary for him to go to bed so early. The next day, I woke up and he wasn't there. That was weird since we usually wake up around 6, drink coffee, then he leaves for work. I took Sandy on a walk that afternoon, but then I got a call. It was from my boyfriend. He said he would be home around 6 and he would pick me up at the beach. I had never told him that I took Sandy on a walk, but I usually took her around this time, so I didn't think anything of it. He picked me up at 6, just like he had said. Later that night, I asked him why he left for work so early, and he started to get angry. He slammed his fists on the table and said, "What do you think, I'm cheating on you?" I said no, and that I'm sorry for asking, and went upstairs to go to bed. About a week later, he was at work, and I was going to surprise him with a fancy seafood dinner. The seafood was shrimp, fish, and scallops, and I was so excited when he got home he sat at the table and acted like nothing was different. I asked him if he liked the surprise, and he said, "Yeah, it's cool." "But I can't eat shrimp?" I paused and asked him how he knows there was shrimp, and he said that he could see it, but there was no shrimp in sight. The shrimp was in the sauce. I became very suspicious. So I thought of a plan. I'd tell him I would pack his lunches so then I can look through his bag and see if he has anything suspicious. So the next day I packed a lunch and I looked in his bag and I found a hidden camera detector on his phone. Which means he must have hid a camera somewhere. I looked in all my things, then realized it was in my hoodie. The same hoodie I wear every day. It's one of my quirks. When he went to work, I kept the camera on my hoodie and went to a cheap motel across the street to get him confused, only to find out he was staying there himself. I found his car in the parking lot and snuck up the stairs. I looked through the peephole and saw on his phone screen a little note. That read, "How to Kill Sasha Witch is my name." I got very freaked out and drove his car back home. I then packed all his stuff in bags and burned it all. As the ashes flew into the air, I felt a wave of relief. Then when he got home, I acted as nice as ever. "Hey, baby! How was work? I made your favorite green beans and chicken." He absolutely hates chicken. So I knew that was the perfect meal. He got angry and asked what I was thinking. I told him, "What do you mean, baby? You love chicken." He stormed up to the room. It took about 5 seconds to hear the reaction, and as soon as heard him yell, I called the cops and told them to come to the address. He came downstairs and grabbed one of our kitchen knives. He came closer to me and stuck the knife up in the air. He asked me, "Are you ready to die?" And I told him no, not yet, and that there's more chicken in the oven. He looked up at my face and looked confused. I moved to get the chicken out of the oven, then said, "Okay, one. I'm ready now." Right before he moved any closer, the cops came and saved me. The cops took him away and he went to jail for 3 years. It was all worth it, and I hope I'll never see his stupid face again.